Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, an agency of the United Nations, UN, says over 241,000 people in South Sudan have been displaced as a result of yearly flood disaster in the country that have affected millions of the African residents for more than a decade. OCHA in a report on Thursday said this year flooding disaster took over homes, markets and cut off roads, making it impossible to transport aid to the affected victims. Homes and markets are in floodwaters, forcing people to seek shelter on higher ground. Community members in flood-hit areas are coming together to scoop out water and construct dikes in response to rising water levels, OCHA stated in a tweet. AFP had on March 2023 reported that for the last 4 years, unprecedented flooding linked to climate change has turned almost two-thirds of South Sudan into swampland. The environmental catastrophe is most apparent in the city of Bentiu, in the northern part of the country. Local media stated, the persistent flooding in Unity State, South Sudan, has led to severe deforestation, with trees wilting after prolonged exposure to water, becoming firewood rather than thriving ecosystems. Reuters in August 28, 2024 published a photograph of a survivor who climbed a Nigeria Customs Service, NCS has seized 2 lorries and 1,046 kegs of smuggled premium motor spirit known as Petrol and deposited the smuggled petroleum goods at 2 fuel stations for onward sales of the products to members of the public for 630 nairas per litre. Nigeria Customs Service in a news release on Wednesday said one of the suspected smugglers was arrested during the operations. The statement reads thus: the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) Operation Whirlwind has recorded significant success in its fight against fuel smuggling, seizing 2 lorries, 1,046 kegs filled with premium motor spirit (PMS) and 12 drums of petroleum products. In a press conference held on Wednesday, the 9th of October 2024, in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, the Comptroller General of Customs, CGC, Adewale Adeniyi, represented by the Deputy Comptroller General of Customs, DCG, Aliyu Alajogun, in charge of enforcement, investigation, and inspection, announced that since the operations launched on the 10th of June 2024, efforts have intensified, yielding further results across multiple border regions. He said, our ongoing operations have recorded substantial seizures in various locations, including the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos State has fixed November 1, 2024 to rule on the application brought before it by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for the final forfeiture of the properties and monies linked to the former Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, who is currently facing series of lawsuits at different courts across the country over his administrative behaviors and operational decisions while he was the Apex Bank governor in the West Africa country. Justice Dende Depeolu of the Federal High Court in Lagos on Friday refused to stay further proceedings in the suit filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, seeking the forfeiture of properties and monies linked to a former governor of the Central Bank, CBN, Godwin Emefiele. Emefiele had, through his lawyer, Olalekan Ojo, SAN, urged the judge to stay proceedings pending the hearing of an appeal he filed before the Court of Appeal seeking to nullify the temporary forfeiture order earlier granted by the court. Rejecting the plea, Justice Dende Depeolu held that interested parties had the right to approach the Court of Appeal, which must be contingent on the trial court's decision. The court also held that an appeal flows from the decision of a trial court, but in the instant case, the court had not made any decision as to any application filed or as to the substantive issues in the suit. During
bringing you the news in a more digital way.